Sporetober 2025 day, all of them, themes, everything. Whoa! Whoa! I don't know what that was. This is Sporetober again. 2 Sporetober, more like Sporetober. That is one of the tags being used by some people, not everyone, but some people have been using that, and I noticed that recently. Not at the start. Anyways, Sporetober. It's different this year because there's 2 prompt lists. That's 4. Two prompt lists. And the reason for that, I assume, is just lack of communication on an obvious level, because one person made a list, and that person is the same person who made the prompt list last year, who is, I think it would be said, Titanite, who made a list of prompts. Wow, look at it right there. Wow, that is nice looking. It's so green. Wow, that's really different from last year's one. Wow. The other one though is made by someone else, who I think it said Luna Kibby. Maybe it's one word really, I don't know. But it looks like it's that way. And that's it. Look, right there, that's... wow. That's different. Wow, it sort of looks like that, actually. Wow. But now, we have 2 prompt lists, prompt sheets, whatever they're called. 2 lists, that's 4 again. Two! What? So, what do you do when you have 2? You do both. Both of them. 4. Again. So, that's what I've done this year. I have done both of them. And I've done that for 31 days. As of uploading this. Also, there might be a bonus at the end. So, let's get into it with day 1. Drum roll, please. Bioluminescent and aquatic. Let's go. Whoa, it's the first day of Sporetober 2025. Wow. What we're doing, bioluminescent and aquatic. So the idea I had right off the bat, immediately, was a crab. Wow, I know, crazy idea. I really put a lot into that, didn't I? Wow, what a big reveal. Look at what I'm doing with the legs here. I decided to get all interesting with it. Thought that part there, the fleshy looking one, looked interesting, but for the legs, kept it all bug-like. Yeah. I did also notice though, looking up pictures of crabs, they have quite weird legs going on, feet, you know. Speaking of limbs, these are hands, and this is me knowing stuff. But this is hands. I didn't know what hands that I wanted to use, so I just threw a bunch of them together that could work. I did eventually settle on the claw hands. I was seeing if I could have other options, but I wanted the claws, at least for now. Actually don't remember, this was about a month ago. Wow, it's got all the limbs all of a sudden. I'm basing the body here sort of on the idea of a crab, and crab already is an idea, it's not a set thing. It's a type of thing, like worm. Crab is like worm. I was thinking about, those long, tall eyes that crabs have. But then I was also looking at crawfish or crayfish. Turns out they're called both. And I saw that they had eyes just like the ones I put on this. Also, it's got these glowing bits on it. The electric part from the cell stage. So I wanted to include that somewhere because it glows. That's bioluminescent even more so. What else? I've sort of gone through everything. Oh, the colours, yeah, black and lime is what I eventually settled on. But for a while, I didn't know what the second colour is. But from the start, I knew black, and here it is. Ooh, maybe yellow, but lime is the ultimate thing. Right next to yellow. Right, next point. The body texture. I considered some different things. I just changed it here to make it easier to see, because black is really black without the texture. But speaking of texture, again, I know, I'm making it spiky as well, just extra detail. Right, texture. I wanted it to look like a crab. What? What does that mean? I don't know, I wanted it lumpy, but not lumpy, more bumpy, I guess. Also, I thought his face was looking bland, so I threw some stuff on it. Sort of lobstery. It was mostly lobster from the start. I'm all over the place with this, aren't I? I wrote notes. I'm still all over the place. Wow. But yeah, I liked how that green texture looked on the back. It sort of looks segmented, like they do. And the body itself, I wanted bumpy. And to further show off that appearance, I gave a texture to the legs. Those black dots there. Wow, look at those. I thought those made it look more natural, like it was more slowly going into the bright green. I mean, not much slower, but it's there. As it's real dark, so real bright green, it shows it off. It's calling it a sour something. Sour what? It's a sour crust, spelt really weirdly. Why? Because it is. Oh, here's the description. I'll get to that later, because I have some lore that I can remember. Oh, I did change the hands. Okay. What was the lore? Okay, there it is. No, I'll just read it from the description. Its home planet went through a bit of a dark phase. The idea there is that its home planet it's very dark, thus the bioluminescence, but it has only recently, like past 1,000 million, I don't know how long it takes, years, it's gone dark, so it's like really dark, but it already, before it went dark, it had loads of life on it that could see with eyes. So now they're suddenly blind. Some of them start glowing, like this thing. And that also goes into the next point, which is that these things live in shallow waters. They don't live in deep sea, they live in real shallow water, so it would be light, they would be able to see, but now it is pitch black, except for them, they're glowing. Wow. That's everything I wrote. I have 28 of these to do, so wow. I really fell behind on this. I'm taking pictures for the Reddit posts, all the links in the description. And we've got about 5 seconds left, so how about we go to the next one? Wow! That sure was a bioluminescent aquatic creature for day 1. But what about day 2? Well, for that, we've got, get rid of that, we've got scavenger and feline. Wow. Get on with it. Hey, it's Sporetober day 2 with scavenger and feline. For this one, it's the start of a thing that I continue throughout all of these, pretty much. I drew a picture. Wow, look at it. And now you can see how that is that. Wow, this is going really fast. Yeah, so I drew a picture of just a weird thing. I didn't actually mean for it to just be a head with legs, but it looked good. Onto the creature, I guess. I tried to make it look like a cat, but I did keep running into the same issue of making it look like a bat, which is not the right thing.
yeah, obviously. So I got rid of the mouth. I think the mouth was the main problem, the main thing making it look like a bat, and so I gave it a different mouth, which was actually a mouth flipped upside down to give it those teeth things like those ones I was liking had. But not those ones because those look like a bat, but this one looked more like a cat. Got big ears, and I tried to put a nose on it, but I was still making it look like a bat. Maybe a horn. No, it still looks like a bat. What do I do? It needs a nose. It looks empty without one. Maybe real cat eyes. No, an X, a rough patch on its face instead of a nose. Wow, look at that. That really did work, didn't it? Hopefully. No, it did. I liked it. Wait, this isn't it finished. I'm giving it legs. Much more complicated than the drawing, but yeah, it needed it. Couldn't just be a stick figure. On the, okay, it's not a stick, it's a ball. It's a ball figure. The nose thing, it's going up the face. It's got like it looks more like a cat. I'm also giving it these things, which all look fairy-y to me, I think. But yeah, I've also used them for whiskers there. It looks like whiskers, and now it's got other ones on the side, which are also there. Just made it feel a bit less generic. Made it a light purple, and I gave it quite a long tail for the balance. It had a secondary lighter purple for the stripes. But usually stripes are darker, but, well, not all things. Yeah, this. Look at it, looks nice. This is done now, it doesn't change from here. What do I call this creature, though? I don't know. I'm bad with names. Randomise it. How about I just throw some sounds together about Brie? That's not right. No. Blin. That's what it is. Blin. Which is also the name of a dessert, which is apparently like a pancake. I didn't know that existed until after this, but now I know it exists. It looks like a pancake. Pancakes are good. There's no lore for this thing. I couldn't think of anything for ages. Whoa, there we are, in a new editor. It's a tribal editor. I put a skull on its head. Wow, isn't that something? There was an idea I threw out there, and I'm giving it a cloak. With the skull, I actually managed to line the eye holes up with the head things they had, which was really quite neat, I think. Also thought with feathers, and maybe the things on their face and head, and they are all head. Maybe that's like a cool looking thing to them, so maybe they put feathers on to add more of those. Maybe they have feathers on the skull too, to add more of those, or maybe the feathers are actually from the animal that this skull is also from. That it's feathers, they're still on there. I don't think feathers go into the bone, but I've also never plucked a bird, so I wasn't liking the cloak thing. It seemed too formal, and this is a scavenger thing. It's got to have scavenger in it. So what do we do? Give them plant clothes. Plant clothes? That's grass. It's grass and other leaves and whatever else. That's it. That's the idea. The law for this thing is they're nomadic. They make clothes out of whatever they find lying on the ground. Maybe they steal stuff from other tribes, or maybe they take stuff from like dead tribes. Tribal stage and kill a tribe, wipe them out. The whole thing is still there. Maybe these guys come along and just pick up bits and then leave. The food as well. Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't write that down, but I did have the idea. What else? Oh, that's everything. Yeah, I still couldn't think of the law for a while. Here, they scavenge. No, they survive off of whatever they find lying about. They usually live a nomadic lifestyle. Although occasionally they'll settle down in one spot for a time. They make clothes. They got clothes.
Wow, that sure was a scavenger feline. But next, for day 3, we've got abstract rule of 3. Isn't that 3? And abstract, maybe. It doesn't make sense. Go!
Sporetober day 3. Abstract rule of 3. Wow, that really makes sense for day 3. I didn't notice that. 3, rule of 3, it's got 3 pairs of legs. That's the idea. Other idea for abstract, I spent so long, I made this in like the middle of the night, because I just could not come up with an idea for ages. So this is a real simple thing. 3 pairs of legs, weird curvy spirally body that like goes round in on itself, and it's got a hole in the middle. You don't normally have those. You're not meant to have a hole in the middle of your body, are ya? No, you're not. One thing I wanted for this was its mouth placement to be strange as well. Not like, don't just put it on the front facing forward. I want it to be somewhere weird. I'm making a rib looking thing now. That's kind of the idea. It's like ribs. A strange mouth placement. What if it had an arm coming out from the side of it, and then it's holding its mouth? The mouth from before, ignore that. It's still there. It's gone now. But yeah, now it's holding its mouth, so I think that turned out pretty good. What else? Nothing. That is it. I mean, I spent a little while longer trying to get the colours right. Not that much longer, though. What do you mean there's 4 minutes left on this? Oh no, 3. 3 minutes left on this. I don't know. It's not all this. I looked through it. The thing just starts spinning around at one point. I don't know why. I don't know why. The thing was done. Maybe I wasn't sure if it was done, but it was done. It's done. I mean, I don't really want to cut out half of the time lapse, so I think it's just gonna steadily get faster from here, you know. Whoa, it's faster, and whoa, it's faster, and soon it's gonna be over in a second. Wow, look at that, it's over, pretty much. I mean, it's not over. How about I just go to the very end to say something, and we just have something repeating until then. How about the thing is the name of the creature, which isn't in this. I decided in the end to call the creature the Carrion Stroller, which, you know, is a vague name, like the bony floater from last year. It's like that, but whoa, it's spinning. Alright, go. The Carrion Stroller. 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 The Carrion Stroller.
Wow, that sure was an abstract carrion stroller. But brrr. Sure is chilly in here, and oh, that wind feels a bit sharp. It's like a sharp Arctic go.
Sporetober, day 4, I think it was. It's Arctic and Sharptic. No, it's sharp, it's just sharp. It's actually the other way around. My first idea here was to make a creature that looks like a loon, which is a type of bird. Whoa. It's a type of Arctic bird, and the sound it makes is also the exact sound that the herbivore beak mouths use in Spore. Pretty sure, anyway. So I was gonna do that, but it just wasn't feeling right, so I didn't do that. Instead, I went for this like sort of ball-y creature. Actually, thinking about it, that's the same mouth I used for the cobbler from last year, and I did try to sort of go with those vibes. I didn't realise it was the same mouth though, but it definitely is. I was having some difficulty with the eyes, with like the mouth sort of covering them up completely. If I didn't have them on the mouth, even if I did have them on the mouth, it just kept doing it, because I wanted the mouth to be big, so I had like a low-pitched voice, but it just didn't work too well, so I had to like fiddle around with it a whole bunch. Speaking of the mouth though, that I tried to make really sharp. Like I tried to make it pointed, as pointed as you can get with that thing, but also like so it has like a massive mouth. And then that eventually went into the idea of shovel mouth. The mouth being like used as a shovel to like dig through ice or something. Fleshed out the idea later. Here I'm giving it a hat, because like, wouldn't it be cool if it had a bit of fluff on its head that looked like a hat? You know. But I just wasn't, yeah, it didn't feel right. It's meant to be sharp, not soft, so instead I gave it a spike hat. Spiky hat. Spiky. Oh, and I put spikes on its face, I forgot about that. This looked good. I also put spikes on its back too, because I wasn't feeling sharp enough with it. I don't know how, it was already so sharp. Look at those feet. They're so sharp. As I thought about putting spikes on the legs. That would have been way too much. Good thing I didn't do that in the end. Yeah, they're gone. I wasn't sure. It's a while ago. It's got like a tail spike. That's cool. I brought the fluff back in. Yeah, it's still got to be Arctic. Now it's spiky, but it's still got to be Arctic, and that's probably got a bit of fluff on it. Probably. Maybe, I don't know. It's not like a swimming creature, it's like a thing that lives in forests, so yeah, it wouldn't have to worry about getting wet, right? Yeah, maybe. I mean, polar bears exist. They're like all fluff. I was thinking of penguins, they're all flat and smooth. They don't have hair though. They have feathers. I made it pale blue. A real pale but also dark blue. Tried to make the fluff even darker though. I wanted lots of contrast with it. I tried to thought about throwing a brighter colour in there. Like the purple, like the cobbler. It was cobbler, right? I just tried a bunch of different things, but eventually I decided on black, matching the claws on the feet, because you can't change the colour of those, so I bring it to the rest of the creature. And so I brought it to the bottom of the legs, and that one there, whoa, worked quite well, I think. So yeah, that's pretty good. Looks good. What's the law? Oh, I don't know about that. I gotta think on it. Look at it spin. It's called a tumbler, so even more cooler. Wow. Ah, right, I got it. So it's a creature that, what is it doing? It lives in, it's recently it's been pushed into colder parts of its home planet. So it's used to a bit warmer weather, but it's been pushed right to the Arctic places, Arctic forests. But turns out the things it already had from like before were also like really good for this place. It's shovel mouth, which is probably just used like to hit things. There's loads of animals that hit each other in the face. That's really good at digging through the soil. I only got 1 second now. Isn't this thing shiny? And oh, don't squid eat fish? Sounds like the perfect two things for Piscivore and Crystal. Go! Hey, it's Sporetober, day 5. Isn't that a lot of days? 5 days? That seems like a lot. There's another drawing I did for this one. It's an extension of the cat one, but it's the thing that it's smashing with a hammer. It's an alive one, so I'm making that. It's like a squid thing, but then I also turned it into a shark thing, because I have not said Piscivore and Crystal, although I will have said those. So I'm also putting crystals on this. It's got them on its shoulders. I really didn't go that strong with it. Put a thing on its back to make it a bit more interesting. But, it wasn't the right thing for that job. Its eyes are interesting. That's the first use of putting them eyes in that one part, which is like a whole little grey now. Why is that? Because sharks are grey. What's that? I'm talking over myself. Oh no. Oh, look at I changed it up to make it those things instead, so it's got things on its eyes, and then on its tail, tentacle things. Oh, those have spikes on the end. Forgot to mention that. I wanted it to be like a dark colour. Wasn't sure on black or like a dark blue. Went on the dark blue, because it's like the night sky. Yeah, surprisingly blue at times. So like in the middle of the night, not like just after sunset, just before sunrise, like the middle of the night. It still looks really blue, So it's that colour. I threw some yellow in there as like the bright thing. It'll stand out. The crystals as well. They look pretty good. The lore for this creature is that it's like a sort of it's like what was it? The people. It's on the same planet as the Blends, and they it's got a thing It's like it fell from the sky, fell from space, from amongst the stars, and now it's on the ground. And every, like, just before winter, it jumps into the water, then, like, the lakes will freeze over and it will be under there. And then when the ice melts away, it comes back out. That's it. That's it. Simple.
Hey, you know ants? Well, they can be quite dimorphic, can't they? And you know what's a fun food? Knickknacks. It's a crisp. Well, let's get into it.
Sporetober, they, I forgot, I lost count. It's dimorphic and blind. And I had an idea for this based on something I was eating at the time of making this, which are, there's a picture, knickknacks, or crisp. They're quite nice. And spice. Wow, that's the flavour of the thing. And so that's the dimorphic side, where there's two things. This first one is the nice one. The other one is the spice one. Let's focus on the nice one though. The nice one, no, there is an eye there now. There is for a bit. I did completely forget about the blind part because I really liked this idea. The nice and spice knickknacks. They're also based on ants. And the main ants I looked at for inspiration was the ants, I forgot what they're called, but they got the big flat head that they use as a door. We'll get back to that later. This thing needs a mouth. Why is it that mouth? Why would I ever think of that? Well, that's because it is loosely based on the Cheeto Boy creature, which I found in a playthrough a long time ago. But that wasn't right for this creature, so I gave it this toothy mouth. It's got like a long, thin head bit. It's still got eyes. The eyes look good, but I did eventually realise that it's meant to be blind. So, you know, what do you do when the eyes look really good, and it's meant to be blind? You fiddle with the legs a bit, and then you get rid of the eyes, and you think, that looks wrong. What do you do? What can I do? This looks wrong now. Put a lump on its head. 2 lumps, 4 lumps, 5 lumps, 100 lumps on its head. Give it horns, antlers. Wow, it's got so... wow. So that's, I mean, those antler things, what do you do? You know, they could be a nose. It could be a nose thing that's going around the front of the face so it can sense. Its head senses. Without having eyes. Yeah. But it still doesn't look right. Maybe for a different part on there. Whereas it's not really lumpy enough now. Knickknacks, they're lumpy. They're a lumpy crisp. So what do you do? What do you do? You get body lumps. Still doesn't look right. Why doesn't it look right? I don't know. Messing with the colours, the textures. Get lumpy on the texture so you don't have to cover the whole thing in acorns. They're really intensive. Now it's walking around really slowly. I don't know how it's doing that. Is it blue? No, that's just to make it stand out so I can see what's actually being changed. Maybe it's got a long thing on its face. No, that's wrong. It's got ears. These look like ears. They make it roll. Ah, it's really difficult to look at. Wow. The law. So these things, they're like the workers. They do all the work. They get all the food for everyone. All 2 of them. Well, they'll live in groups. Groups of nice and spice. And the nice ones, the nice ones, they gather food natchi. That's what they're called. They're called natchis. The nice natchis, they gather food and stuff, and maybe they build homes. I don't know. Not really much to say. What am I doing here? Thinking of law. Thinking this thing doesn't look right. It's got ears, but why does it have ears? It's already got a nose. It's got a nose. Why does it need ears? I don't know. What do you do? Do you mess with the colours more? I probably should have looked through this one. Whoa. Law. Yeah, just get rid of the ears. No, don't give it more ears. No. What are you doing? Get rid of the ears. The ears are the problem. Why is it dancing? Yellow lumpy thing. It's got tags. Maybe it needs a thing on the tail. Not this one, but maybe save it for later. Really not a lot going on here. How long is this? What do you mean 7 minutes? The smaller, more delicate ones, since they don't need to worry about their safety, the nice... well, if the nose was different, it's really all over the place. Oh, its face is different. That's what it was missing. It needed a better face. Wow. Whereas I've probably been talking a bit fast here, because it's too long. But the next bit's going to be a bit slowed down. Why are you putting a nose on it? No, it already has a nose. Why are you doing that? Ah, yeah, this is the point where I decided that was a nose. There wasn't a nose before. What am I doing? Why am I doing that? That's because this is the Spice Natchi. That's right. It's a different thing. It's bigger, stronger, and it has heels. And it's red. Well, it's not red. It's still orange, but it's more saturated. It's more red. It's got a pie for a head based on those flathead ants, but also based on a pie I was eating, which felt fitting since this took a while. You know, it went from lunch, where I had crisps for lunch. Wow, I was busy. I had a pie for dinner, and so it's got a pie head. It was a nice pie. And then there's that tail thing, but it also has spit because that's like spice. Now I put spikes on it. Spikes don't work. It needs to be lumpy, but like long lumps. lumps around the legs now as well. It's all different shaped. Definitely looks like it's stronger. And it is, because it has all sorts of fighting going on. These ones, Spice Nutchies, they protect the nice ones. They're like the big strong ones. They do all the fighting, all the guarding. I can finally stop talking.
If you first saw this, then you might say this is overgrown. But how is that Martian? Let's find out.
Whoa, it's Sporetober again, whatever day. It's overgrown and Martian. That's the things. Now, the first thing that came to mind for that idea was, overgrown, like plants. And then, like, a Martian building, maybe? So we're making a building, but, thinking of plants. There's no plants on Mars. So, what is there on Mars? Aliens. It's aliens on Mars called Martians, and those things are animals. So what if it's an overgrown animal? An animal that's too big, and so it's overgrown. And then the idea is, what if the building has a giant creature sort of wrapped around it? Initial idea is a flesh blob, just hanging out with one massive eye, or maybe a few. The whole thing's massive. But maybe not that, I don't know. What we've got here is a bunch of domes, mostly inspired by the Eden Project, visually. A bunch of domes, Mars domes. I think I've seen other things like that before. I'm going for like a brassy coloured sort of thing. Took a while to get the right texture going for that, but I eventually got the thing with the colours. I didn't want to use just grey, because next to the slightly tinted stuff, it looked really dull and wrong, and boring, and bland, and bleh. Oh, here we got the creature. The creature there is a giant creature with one eye, but the idea changed a bit, because as I made it, I realised it's quite difficult. It's got an eyelid. It's quite difficult to make a creature as a building, so I'm making arms there. I was going to make them out with whatever they're called, but instead of making them out with shapes, so that lets me actually pose the thing. And I'm giving it fingers too, so it has a hand, and it's like holding onto the side of the thing. The idea is that it's sort of pulling itself out of the building, like it's very suddenly grown massive, and it's pulling itself out of the building. The dome building, the main one in the middle. And it's got this other hand that's like reaching out, It's posed, it's dynamic. It did take ages to do this, especially since you have to keep the part selected, because if you deselect it while it's in the air and try to reselect it, it just sells it. You have to do the whole thing in one go. I also wanted to give it that broken look on the side, so I put a tower roof thing, castle roof thing. So I thought we've had like machinery bits on the back of it. Make it look like it's not normally this big. Someone's done something and made it big. Now I'm giving it skin, so it's alive. It's red. Give it claws are slightly yellow. They're also the same colour as its skull there, which is all out in the open, along with its brain. That's got a big fan bit stuck in its brain. Then I'm also making some windmills, for power. This place doesn't have power, but this is on Mars, which doesn't have an atmosphere, so that didn't make much sense. I did quite like the design, but it doesn't make sense. Why would those be there? So I got rid of those, and I instead went for solar panels, which took really long. But we got time to we got rid of the time. Other bits I didn't talk about. Those domes have little tunnel, like corridor sort of things connecting them, which I thought was quite nice. There's also a shed out there. They probably go outside sometimes. Don't know what's in the shed. It's probably something. It's quite the noises, eh? Quite noisy. Whoa, the noise is doubling up. More solar panels. They're blue. Took a while to get something that felt right, but I was fairly certain on these 4 things, because they have that same metal look, and they're blue. Then it got too complex, so I'd have, what was it, 10? So I just went for 6. I wanted them not all in one row, 2 rows minimum, so I did that many. It's oh no, a genetically modified creature has escaped the Martian farm. Luckily, the farmers tranquilized it before it did any damage, I think is what it said. So the idea is that that's why it's frozen in place, because it's a building, it can't actually move as a creature. But like there's other bits that are moving, so time is passing, but it's just stood there. It's frozen in place. Tranquilizer is not the right thing. Well, there's a creature now. Because the idea here is that what if I made that creature as an actual creature to show like a normal sized version? And just trying to translate all those ideas into a creature. So it's got one big foot like that thing I used to make the body, and it's the spike ones that I felt was a pretty good idea for it. Then they also had spikes at the top of it, so I put some spikes around their neck. I did also try to use colours from the building, but it didn't work. I didn't think it would. This creature also needs a mouth though, and I didn't want to completely hide the mouth, so I didn't really know what to do with it. It's got a spike thing on its head instead of just an open skull. So the idea is that they split it open, just jammed a fan in there. I don't know why, but honestly I don't like how this creature looks.
This is a fancy looking Hoover, right? Well, you know what else it is? Metallic. Sporetober day, whatever it is. Fancy and metallic, or the other way around,
but it sounds better the way I said it, so I said it that way, but it was the other way around if we're going from the list order. The idea I had for this thing was a robot. Fancy robot. That's not it. I don't know what that was. Fancy robot, and part of that is that it's like two pieces, a bottom piece and a top piece, that are like separate pieces floating. And they're floating, well, the top one's floating. I wasn't really sure how to do that, but I tried a bunch of ways. I got this thing, I tried that diamond thing, that spins, maybe that's an idea. Got legs, try to get the same piece. Maybe it's too tall, so it's got legs. But its legs are going. It's running. It's floating. But floating looks wrong. So I tried to put a diamond in there, have it spinning. Put them on tiny cubes so it would actually fit in. Then I bought two of them, because just one was a bit odd. Then I made them bigger, so to cover up the gap a bit more, because it's got a head, and it's got arms, which are made of the legs, but flipped around, and also flipped sides, so they move opposite. I think that kind of undid the point of having them upside down, but having them upside down hasn't bent like arms, which the joints go toward the back, and knees go toward the front. Elbows go backward. It's got feather things on the back of it. You know? That's a good idea. That's an idea I had. Looks fancy, doesn't it? This took ages. So long this took. Wow. Why? It's just getting the shapes in place, and the things toward the middle kept snapping into one piece. It's got antennas, and it doesn't look right, but those could work for the back. It's got things on the back. That one's not big enough though, so I have to move it further up. Those do also help with covering up the mess that the feathery things left, because it was quite bad back there, but that sorted it out. I also gave it eyes, and then it was on to a colour where I wasn't really sure what to do. I mean, I kind of wanted like a light colour, a sort of pale colour. What was spinning there? Don't know. I also wanted that pink from the diamonds though, since you can't change that colour. Got to incorporate it into other aspects of the design. I was quite liking the blue though, and I thought the pair went quite nicely together. Though the yellow also, like the yellow in the eyes, that also worked. And there's also blue in the eyes, so both are there. So I went with both. The head's slightly yellow, the body's slightly blue. All the joint stuff is pink, like the diamonds, because it's like powered by the diamonds maybe, and maybe the diamonds are also like radioactive, so they're glowing green, because that's what radiation is. Radiation's green. The feathers are blue. Oh, also the body, I missed that bit. Yeah, I changed up the texture. It's a bit darker, but it looked nicer. Also made it look a bit older. Like it's a clean thing. It was new for the time, but after a long time, it's gotten a bit grimy. It's not been cleaned in a bit. I was also trying to think of blending the legs in with the body a bit more, because they stuck out quite a bit. But it's not too bad. Try the same thing for the arms. What's it called? I don't know. Come up with a name. What was the name? What about Fernando? That sounds like a fancy name. But what if it was different, like Flernando? Yeah, that's different. That's not just a name. But then, since it's a robot, well, if you split that in two parts, and instead of Flernando, you had Flernano, which is like a robot-y kind of thing. So that's the idea for the name. I don't know when I write it. I thought it would have been here by now, but oh no, name. It's called Name. It will eventually be called Flernano. And what's the lore behind Flernano? The lore is that there was this old, really old, super old inventor who's also really rich. Super old, rich inventor who's gonna die. And this super old, rich inventor that's gonna die hated people. And so this super old, rich inventor that's gonna die and that hates people makes a robot. Why? Because when this super old, rich inventor that makes a robot dies, all their money, all their riches, they're gonna have to go somewhere. They can't just be lying around. And they hate people. So they don't want people to have all the wealth. So they make this robot which can have all of it. Every single bit. Because this robot's a person. It's like a real artificial intelligence going on in there. So this robot, Fleur Nano, is really rich now because this super old, rich inventor about to die, made a robot, hates people, died. Well, I couldn't think of anything for this one. But it is an ancient mutant, and that's just a pretty solid idea anyway. So, have that and go. Wow, look at this, isn't this a great combination of prompts? An ancient mutant, that's a great idea. I mean, there's so many possibilities. You could do anything with this. Oh, you could do anything with this. I don't have anything to do. I don't have an idea. What do I do? No. Well, I as well wait for an idea to pop into my head. I have a nice pack of jelly babies. And an orange one, and a red one, and a green one, and... Oh, what is wrong with that thing? Oh, it looks horrible. Oh, that can make a great ancient mutant. Yes! Yeah, I've done it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. An ancient mutant based on a really messed up looking jelly baby. And I've got it a bit, look at those arms, those legs, the ones in the front, they're arms. And one of them's all bone, well not all bone, but it's half bone, well more than half, but it's bone. And then the other one isn't. That's a bit of asymmetry. But another thing is that one, the bone one, it's got that spike on it, on like the elbow bit. And so for the one that's not bone, I've kept that around. So it's still got a spike on it. It's made of like extra limb bits. And I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm really proud of that. With that mouth there, it's it just looked weird. It's got those lumpy bits on the side, it's that mouth, and so I added extra ones just for the fun of it. Like that picture of the jelly baby. It's missing an eye, so a bit more asymmetry, eh? Though so far that is all on the left side, and well, I've pretty much done it. Well, not really. I've not really done it, but I've sort of done it in a way. Recreated the picture. No, I haven't, but I've got inspiration from it, but I was just sort of confused on what to do for the rest of it. I done the front. The front's interesting, and I make the rest of it interesting. Dunno. I put some more holes on it, and then I also got these crystal things, which are like radioactive crystals, because it's a mutant. It's like radiation stuff, right? Can be. And so it's got radioactive crystals growing out of its skin. All the holes in its skin, all of its pores. Play. I'm also putting some extra bits on its head. You know, maybe that's what it needs. I was really lost for a while on what what this creature needed to be more interesting. The main thing I was having trouble with, though, was those crystals on its back, because the size they are, that's the biggest they can be. They can't get bigger than that. So I was really, I wanted them to be way bigger, and they just can't be. So I tried, adding more of them, tried adding more spots where they come out, but it wasn't working. But then I found this one texture thing, which sort of looks like a bunch of patches of crystals beginning to grow, and that really tied it together. And then I added some like spiky bits. It's got like antlers around its head. It just felt right. It's also got this weird like white bit all over it, like the powder on jelly babies. Its description: its entire body was irradiated long ago. Over the centuries, radioactive crystals have they grow from it. Soon it will be completely engulfed by the crystals and will stay unable to move for as long as it exists. Yeah. Another fun fact though, this is the last thing I'm recording for this video. There's been a lot of troubles with it, but hopefully it gets out in time. You ever looked at one of them dead animals on the side of the road and thought, what if that thing was still alive? Well, I did, and I made that for a flat, asymmetrical creature. I'm not even going to say it anymore. It's asymmetry and flat. So the idea for this thing is, well, at the time I'd been seeing a lot of like dead animals in the road, which is a normal thing, but I've been seeing loads of that, like more than normal. Don't know why, but it did give me the idea of making that a creature. And then these prompts came along. I was like, great, amazing idea to use for this idea. It's a bug creature that looks like a run over animal. Like, there's a different animal, one that's been run over, but it's not that, it's a bug that just looks like that. And the asymmetry, the flat is run over. The asymmetry is that it's run over and bits all over. And maybe the head is like, I tried to make the head out of limbs, keep it flat. It didn't work. I tried to make the body out of limbs. Sort of worked. It's a bug. But maybe it's got like a whole thing going on. It's got fluff, to look like blood. And maybe it's a skull on the back, and wait, that's a different idea. That's a different thing. Wait, okay, not a skull. It's the body. No, that's just a bad idea. Start over. Doesn't work. Just doesn't work. So instead, how about it? Instead of a bug that looks like a dead animal been run over, it's a bug that lives inside of an actual dead animal that may or may not have been run over. So that's what this is. It's an actual dead animal. What kind of animal? I don't know, a lizard, maybe? And it's pretty simple. It's got a limb for a head, just because that was quicker. It's got that mouth, because that mouth is the only mouth that is open, with exception to bug mouths. Even those are like closed, they just don't really close space. Otherwise, it's the only mouth that's open, and an open mouth is a great opportunity to stick a bug inside of. Kind of like those bugs that eat a fish's tongue, and then its tongue is still its food when it's eaten. It's kind of like that, except the fish isn't a fish. The fish is dead, and it has to deal with moving on its own. It's got its legs coming out of the bottom there, and it's like, so it's not using the creature's legs. It's not using the lizard's legs. It's using its own legs. It has its own legs. Those things don't work. The dead thing's legs don't work. Here I'm doing texture. What kind of colour? Maybe green, dark green. Just sort of lizardy. Took longer than I would have thought. Eventually we got that thing, which is all yellow on the top. Then I'm also though trying to get like the acorns, which are the stand-in for eyes, so it's not blinking and stuff. Trying to make those look like eyes, and I did that. It looks like eyes, but it's not actual eyes, so they don't blink. But yeah, they look like eyes. Putting some bits there. Colours going away. Where I wrote stuff down. I used the grass piece for the feet, because those are flat, and they have like 3 bits, which is like more than 1 bit, and it's more than no bits. Putting a thing on its back just to make the lizard part more interesting, which sort of happened. I did go very light on the asymmetry of this one, but the creature I made before it already had it going. I tried out moulding, shaping, morphing the cell stage mouth, the cell stage carnivore mouth. It's got those spike parts with like ribs. There's also a layered up to the textures, so that it's got a white bit and it's got a red bit. Red bit's like red and darker. It's like the inside of the thing. It's like rotting. It's a rotting lizard that this bug is gone crawled inside of. I don't have anything more to say. It's mostly just me finalising the design. I had the idea from the start. It's a simple idea. I mean, the idea did change on the second go around, but yeah, the long bug creature crawls inside the dead lizard creature and it puppets it. Why does it do that? I don't know. Maybe it's to hide from predators. Maybe it's to lure in prey that may want to eat a dead thing. Maybe it's both. It could be both. some things don't want to eat a dead thing, so why is it dead? Could be diseased. I want that. I'll leave it alone. But then some things do eat dead things. So maybe it's hiding from the things that don't eat dead things, and eating the things that do eat dead things. Maybe.
Introducing the new bleach-based superhero. I have a lot to go over and I don't have much time, so where do I start? It's so late. This video is coming out so late and I lost all the footage for the next 3 days, and that's the reason why it's coming out so late. And the reason for that being missing is the reason it's so late. My computer's been completely wiped. It's Thursday. It's March, it's the 12th, I think. It was meant to come out in October, then November, then December, and I lost everything! It's this first creature of the 3 that are missing. I had an idea that was like, I didn't know what caustic meant, so I looked it up, and apparently that's like something that's really acidic or really alkaline, or just anything that melts stuff or burns stuff or something. I don't know. Bleach worked. I still don't know what caustic means, but bleach was caustic apparently. So I made a bleach-themed superhero called the Bleacher! There it is. There's some pictures. I just went for a superhero design. Yep, that's it. I'm not putting too much effort into this because, well, it didn't work the last time I tried it.
What if there was a vampire that came out in the day? Well, that sure would be a radiant, mythical creature.
Wow. Yeah, that thing I said on the thing just a second ago, but for me it was months ago. Yeah, that was a good idea. Radiant mythical creature is a vampire. Radiant, that's like the sun. So I made a sun vampire bat creature. It's meant to be from the same world as the Blins and the shark ones that I forgot the name of. The idea with the Blins is that they're nocturnal, so they, instead of having like monsters that come out at night, there'd be monsters that come out in the day, and that's the idea. And I put some green on its arms and legs, so it's just not all yellow. It's nice. The sun can be green.
Ooh. Macabre and gigantic.
Wow, what a fun skeleton! Whoa, bones and femurs. This is the bone bag. It's the bone bag. And it's a bag of bones, and it goes around collecting bones to put in its bag body. Its body is a bag, and it's full of bones, and it collects bones, even from living creatures. So, be careful around the bone bag. It's a bag of bones. Wow. And now the next one, actually, it's got the footage. All of it's there, because I made enough backups for that part of the video. So the rest of the video's normal again. That will be good. This was bad. Enjoy.
Hey, you know what's dull and toxic? Not me, but that thing might be.
Hey, so would you look at that? As the longer we go on in this, the more I'm remembering about these creatures. Like this one, well, I don't remember its name, but the idea is that it's a toad covered in paint. Why? Because
on the day that I had this idea, the living room was being painted white. I was like, that's I can make something of that. So I made it. It's got eyes. One of the prompts was dull, so toads are pretty dull, and white is a pretty dull colour. So, well, it doesn't have to be dull, but it can be dull, and so it's good for a base. I gave it a moustache. It's not dull enough. It's the opposite, but maybe keep it a bit. Except, I think in the end, yeah, it did go well. I did like that idea, but I forgot to re-add it, which I'm kind of upset about. But I can't really do anything about it now. His body's meant to look like a sort of freshly painted wall, though that did also was also going for freshly painted. Maybe the law of it is that, maybe I've already written it, is that its body produces like this liquid thing that keeps it keeps it from drying out, because it's a toad. I actually don't know anything about toads. I went for toad over frog, and I don't know anything about toads, though I did learn that they more so crawl rather than jump, which did seem more dull. Frogs jumping, that's kind of exciting, like, whoa, they jump. And so, if it was a frog creature, that would be less dull than a toad creature. So it's a toad creature. But yeah, it's covered in this white fluid. It's just always secreting it. And it's always dripping down because it's really liquidy, as long as it's on its body. But it doesn't hold its moisture forever, so it keeps on making more stuff, and it's always falling off. And yeah, every time it crawls around, ground behind it just sort of goes white and hard and dry and hard. It stays that way. And this is because it's actually paint. It's called a note. It's paint, and I guess people, not creature, well, also creatures, but people all over the galaxy, they use the fluid from this thing's back to paint their walls. And so the living room is painted from this thing's skin juice. But it's not skin juice, I guess it's just like an oil, ain't it? Actually, I think a lot of paint is oil based, like even more paint stuff. So actually it works.
Have you ever considered what it might take to make a mushroom glow legs? That's what.
I don't really care what the prompts are for this one, what the other prompt is anyway, because one of the prompts is fungal, and that is amazing. You know what I realised after I made this creature? I've never made a mushroom creature before, which is just crazy, because I had like I had that cheese phase, I had a mushroom phase right after the cheese phase. I just didn't. I guess that was also when I stopped playing Spore. So, but it's a mushroom creature. It's mushrooms. It's tall. It's wobbly. With this tall body with the legs, when it walks around, it really wobbles about. I gave it arms that also wobble about when it runs around, although they wobble less when I did that. So why is that? Turns out it was actually the mouth. The mouth makes it not wobble like that. So I moved the mouth to the bottom. As I tried to change the caps of the smaller ones to be rounder, just to be different, but it didn't really work in the end. So I eventually changed it back. Yeah, it's just a mushroom creature. It wobbles about. The arms are like younger mushroom creatures. It's budding. That's the thing it's called. It's budding. Those are babies. Those are baby mushrooms, and someday they're gonna split off and grow their own height, but not yet. Not yet. His knees bend backwards. It's a mushroom creature. It's really nice, and I've never made one of these before. been a while getting the colours right, you know. Turns out, when those textures, they actually go on the nail downs, which is what that health part is called. It takes colour really good. But, yeah, it also takes texture too, slightly. Which is very useful because it got the main cap darker. I couldn't get the small ones as dark, but, you know, I later realised that actually made more sense for them to be lighter because they're younger, and the younger mushrooms are lighter. Oh, yeah, the lore. The lore is that there was this whole planet with it had all life and whole ecosystem, and there was plants and animals and all sorts. And then they all died. The whole planet all died at once. And then, sometime after that, some space travellers, they just flying by, you know, they took a quick stop on the planet to, I don't know, just look at it. You know, it's a whole planet that suddenly died. Or maybe it wasn't sudden, I don't know. I mean, it happened ages ago for them. And then they left. But they didn't all leave. Because they left behind a small mushroom. And that eventually took over the whole planet, and this is one of the creatures from Mushroom World.
We got a pretty standard thing here. It's an elemental dragon. Whoa.
Hey, what are the prompts for this? They're draconic, which, you know, last year, when that prompt happened, I'd never made one before. And now this year, I've made one. Well, two, actually, as of now. This is the second one. The other prompt, I forgot. Oh, elemental. Right, yeah. So I'm making like a dragon thing. Apparently, loads of different kinds of dragons. I tried to give it a floating limb, because it's the kind of dragon that floats around in the sky with no limbs, and no arms, no legs, no wings. It just flies around in the sky. It just does that. It's magic, I guess. But, you know, to ground it a little, probably shouldn't do that. It's flying. To ground it, I made it a cloud. That's the elemental part. It's a cloud dragon. Cloud worm, which is apparently the kind of dragon. That kind of dragon is called a worm, but it's not spelt like earthworm. It's spelt like worm. W-Y-R-M. I struggled a while on deciding the mouth. I eventually just went for what I thought was the same one as what I used last year, but apparently wasn't. I gave it these eyes, and a bunch of fluff, like clouds. This, though, the eyes, not the wings. I considered giving it wings as well. The eyes, and the fluff, and the whole thing, really reminded me of a thing that I didn't really remember what it was. It's something that I'd forgotten about. It's, I think, a dragon, maybe. It's from a film called The Never-Ending Story, which I assume I've seen at some point, long time ago. Don't remember it, but I do remember that thing. It all looks like a dog. It's got ears. But yeah, it reminded me of that a lot as I was making it. You know, I covered it in a bunch of fluff. It's got those eyes. Those eyes felt good. I considered giving it ears like that thing, but I didn't. Instead, I went for these feathery looking things. Tried out a bunch of different wings. Didn't really like any of them. The idea is that this thing's just always flying. Doesn't need the fly thing because it's just always in the air. So it's pretty simple. It's a cloud. It's a cloud dragon. It's just floating through the sky like a cloud does. It's very slow. So I didn't give it that speed part. That gives it speed without a foot. It is slow, but that's because it's a cloud, and clouds are slow, and they're not actually. They're really fast, but they look slow. And with this thing not being nearly as close, but also not being nearly as big, it looks like it moves about the same speed. Kinda. It's also got more of those feathery things, which can also be gill things, which I ultimately decided on. It is using, well, it's maybe gills, maybe feathers, maybe something else. It's using those to absorb moisture from the air, from the clouds that it is flying with or through. Just passively, that's how it drinks. It doesn't come down for water. It stays up in the sky and drinks all day.
Hey, you wanna know what happens if you take 2 rocks and smash them together? This is what.
Wow, isn't this an idea that I didn't have an idea for a while? Because what do you mean fusion? What do you mean rock-like? Well, apparently I did 2 of those last year, and 2 is the perfect number to fuse. So I'm fusing 2 of last year's creatures. Whoa, there they are. Wow, and they're gone. Or something. I'm fusing those together to make this new creature, which is a fusion of those 2 rock-like creatures. Where they're not rock-like, they are just rock. Because rock-like would sort of imply that they just look like rocks, but aren't actually rocks. Those things and this thing are actually made of rocks. So it's pretty much just as best a mix I could of the 2 creatures. I mean, the smaller creature, the spiky blue, had that sort of mouth, but then the rock legs, the bigger one, had a taller head. So I did that sort of mouth with that made it taller, longer. They both had pretty much the same eyes, although Spiky Blue had them more like straight behind, and then Rock Legs had them more above the smaller bits of the eyes. Its colour is sort of a mix of the 2. The one was sort of a purpley colour and the other was red, so I went for a pink sort of colour. As for the secondary colour, one was white and another was blue, so I went for a pale blue, which is a pale cyan, really. The legs. So they were like, one of them had more sections than the other, so I did that, but then had it have the straightness of the one. This is confusing. I think the pictures are just there the whole time, so yeah, they didn't disappear. I was wrong. The crystals on its back, like the one, but it splits like the other. It's not on the head, but it still splits the same. It's big. It's got the thing on the end of its tail. Wow. And speaking of the tail, it's like sort of up, but not all the way around. Yeah, a mix. But the whole thing is bigger. In the texture, it has some like sort of those splotchy. So I don't even know what to call the shape. It's like a circle with a bunch of tendrils coming out of it, and it's that thing. So that is sort of meant to signify like a bit unstable, because the law of this creature is that it is the other 2 creatures. It's not a hybrid. It is a fusion. Staying true to the prompt. So it is made of the other 2. They're made of rocks, and this thing is made of the same rocks put together, but the rocks are from both creatures, and they're just all mixed up and put together, and it's unnatural. It's weaker than both of them. It's just living a terrible life, really. It's got cracks all over its body. You can see on the legs there, on the foot on the left, it's blue there. It's not meant to be like that. That's meant to be inside for that bit. But it is, because it's unstable. It's suffering. It is is a horrible life for this creature, but it looks nice. It's a nice looking creature, so that's good. Next up, Tranquil Swamp. Wow, it's what's the idea? You ask? What, I didn't say it yet. What? It's a swamp in a building. It's like an artificial lake or pond, but it's indoors. But there's no roof. It's in walls, and it's just sort of made to be a lake in the middle. I'd fill these walls in with a bunch of a shape, made squares that sort of gone. I realised one of those squares didn't need to be there, so I got rid of it. It's sticking out at the sides, but there is no... was it octagon? Yeah, octagon. So there isn't an octagon piece that you can use. It's a hexagon, but no octagon. I made an octagon though, so to use a square. It's filled with water. It's also filled with trees, based on mangrove trees, which are like specifically mangroves, which are like trees in swamps. They have really long exposed roots. They just go straight in the water because there is only water. There's a little platform there for you to step on into, and the idea there that you walk into this place, and there's a boat there, and you get on the boat, and then you have a little trip around the whole thing, and then you leave. It's just an experience. I made a few trees. I would have made way more, but with complexity just got completely in the way. I don't even know what part of it was that complex. Didn't seem that much. I made one tree that was bigger than the others, which I eventually swapped with the one that was more into the middle. Yeah, fills up more space. It was really disappointing that I couldn't have more trees, but with what I did. I used the same part for the trunk and the roots, and like the branches. It's just 3 parts, including the roof piece, which the leaves are. Made the building part bricks, pretty simple, but I like it. A bit of a bit that goes out there. Well, didn't take too long. That's quite nice. I mean, I guess that really does fit the prompt of tranquil. I mean, not really, but like that's not the definition of the word. It's not just something that's a bit nice. But the trees, these couldn't have texture, just solid colour, so yeah, you couldn't do much with that. You have to get the colour right, and I did that. I think I made a boat. Oh, there's also mushrooms there, just more interesting just than trees, because the trees are tall, needed something lower to the water. This boat though, I designed it after boats. It's like one of them boats with the room in it. You know, not all boats have those, but it's one of those boats with the room in the middle, but sort of more toward the front. It's got a chimney thing. It's also got bubbles coming out from the back of it, like it's moving. Thought that was a nice detail, and it was the last bit of detail I could fit in there. It is a very complex thing in the end. It doesn't look it, but I really do like this thing. It's a building. It's entertainment, so you know, in game it will make your citizens happy. In the civilization and space stage. Nothing really happens from here. I ran out of things to talk about. I mean, there's not much to talk about, is there? Octagon Swamp. And nothing. We just skip ahead to when we're reading the description. You know, do a cut. That's a lot of editing work, but you can handle it. take a trip around this authentic, peaceful lake in one of our traditional wood-style boats. Wow, that's the description. I don't think that's the final thing. Yeah, that's the vibe. It's like, you get it, maybe, I don't know.
Wow. I love my plant. What was that? Ah!
Wow, a deceptive plant-like creature? That's what I'm doing. I can't believe this is the one I remember. Maybe it's because it was really good of an idea. There's a drawing. Wow. Wow, look at it. It's drawing. I was sort of feeling like the colours of the tranquil swamp. Well, I tried to make one of those mouth things there, but I mean, I don't know how to do it. I couldn't even put the spike things. I wasn't actually trying to do it. I was just experimenting, you know, for future reference, but I didn't really figure it out. The idea here is that it's like an anglerfish, but you know, not an anglerfish, as on land, and the lore thing is a flower. It's like, ooh, look at that, it looks like a flower, but it's actually an arm. And so if you get close to the flower, it's going to grab you and then eat you. It's also got a shark mouth, so less anglerfish, but it's also got giant eyes, wow. And they're bug eyes too, so that's something. It's got legs positioned like ears. That's fun. It's a nice creature. It's green, it's fish shaped, and it is like based on that drawing. Like, it's not trying to be a real fish, it's trying to be a fish. I did try out the empty eyes, and they just didn't look right. They opened too wide. So these were the right eye choice. Is a thing. The deceptive plant-like creature. Anglerfish shark flower. Those are all keywords. It's got that grass pattern on its legs. The colours include a bright pink like the drawing. But it worked, it really stood out. There's also a yellow, which is the leg thing, but it doesn't look yellow, it looks green, but then on the flower it looks yellow, so there's even more colours for free, which is quite nice. You gotta take as many of those as you can get, because otherwise you only have 3 colours. That's not a lot. Really not a lot of colours. You gotta take all the colours you can, and you only have 3. You gotta make more. It's still spinning. Don't worry, I do eventually figure this out. That's Shanglish. It's like shark, anglerfish. That is it. That's the whole name. Shark and anglerfish stuck together. Shanglish. Yeah, it's also missing a bit. Maybe this thing eats other creatures, and that's an idea to explore. What does it eat? Well, it's a fish that's like on land. So what if it ate other fish that were on land, like how anglerfish and sharks? That I just don't. Oh yeah, they would. So yeah, what if it did that? What if I reposition the hand so it's actually lined up with the petals like that? Because it keeps moving for some reason. I don't know why, but it does. Wow. Look at that. It's running. I'm taking pictures and throwing it around. It's covered in bees. As it would be if it looks like a flower. Oh, here it is. What is this? A surprise bonus creature. It's a land fish with an E on the end. It's just like the other thing. Whoa, look, there it is in the drawing. Wow, that was so hidden. Well, it wasn't. But there's 2 of them, what? Since when? And what's that other one doing? It's eating a flower. These landfish creatures eat flowers, and the whatever it was called looks like a flower, so they go to eat it, and then it eats them. It's this, like, what's it called? Teal? Teal? Yeah, teal. No, not teal. Teal's different. This like greener seafoam green. That's what this is. Seafoam green, which is a colour that you cannot get normally in Spore. It did show up normally, but I tried to like recreate it because I thought it looked a bit different, a bit unique. Wanted to see how to get that colour, and I couldn't. I tried looking through the cyans, different darker cyans. It wasn't any of those. Those are too blue.
Have you ever wanted to know what it'd be like if this thing was an animal? A living, breathing animal? Well, we got it with 3 prompts. That's 2, 3, that's 4, 3. Go!
Have you ever wondered where bacon comes from? It comes from this creature right here. That's right, it's the sedentary, domestic, third thing creature. It's a pig that has broken legs all its life.
That's the idea. It's a pig creature. Oh yeah, 3 prompts. Wow, that's crazy. It's a pig that doesn't have bones. All its bones are gone, with exception. A few exceptions. Most of its bones are gone. It's got weird eyes. Why? I wanted it to have weird eyes. It's got no bones, no feet. It can't move, or shouldn't be able to move. I mean, if it did move, it'd probably tear itself apart. It's also really tender. That's the right one, right? It means like, that's about easy. It's textured like bacon, because it is bacon. But it's not just bacon, it's also crackling. So like that stuff, there's a picture, wow. Yeah, it's got that on its back. I did also later find out that it has a sausage on its end. Oh no, it's not meant to look like that. Oh no, put it down. There we go. It's got a tail that's sort of, really difficult. The thing just didn't want to turn. And then it did turn. I didn't like, oh, it's back. It's got ears, it needs ears, it needs to be able to hear ears, because you know, people probably like to eat those. Right, is that a thing? Pig ears? Probably. Sounds right. It's got even, you know, rougher parts. Why is it like this? Oh, it's a pig without bones. It's just left out in fields all day, loads of them. It's left out in fields, and they're just baking under the sun. Baking? Bacon. This thing turns into bacon all its life. It's just always cooking for its whole life, and eventually it gets cut up and served, and then you eat it. That's what bacon. This is where bacon comes from, and crackling. This is where bacon, crackling, sausages, they all come from this, and ham as well. It does have bones in its back legs. It has bones there, just so you can have ham on a bone. But otherwise, it's completely boneless, and its skull as well. If it didn't have a skull, it wouldn't live long enough to turn into the bacon. So, but other than its skull and its legs for the ham, it's no bones. It's a wonderful creation of science, and everyone loves it. Everyone knows about it. Like, this is how it happens. Well, they should, because like they're always talking about it on the news. You know, like, they won't shut up about it. They're one of those ethics things. Always talking about how this is where bacon comes from. Living bacon. Wonderful, wonderful creation. I mean, whoever came up with this idea is an absolute genius. Like, how do you even think of that? Living bacon and crackling and sausage? And stalk eyes and miserable? Oh, there's baby living bacons, baby bacons. Wow, they're all spinning, dancing and spinning. They're spinning and dancing. Wow, how do they do that? They don't have bones to do that. You shouldn't be able to move without bones. There's something wrong with them. They've got too many bones. You need to get rid of those bones. It does not meant to have bones like that. Why do they have bones? Where are their bones from? Where do they get the bones from? Why do they have bones?
Ethereal desert sounds like a good idea.
This is another creature that I struggled quite a bit with. Here's a drawing, the drawing, and the other drawing, and oh, there's another one, and wow, there's so many ideas here, and I usually am meant to figure out which one I'm using in the end through the drawings, and do that. Here I'm trying the vehicle idea, which I was very set on. I thought, vehicle, that's the way to go. It's like this, it's ethereal thing that roams through the sound. It's massive. It's off in the distance, middle of the desert. You see it going by, comes out of nowhere, out of light, and it disappears into nowhere. I know the video looks like it's frozen, but it's not. I just didn't know what I was doing. Maybe it is more of a creature. Maybe it's another robot, like the Flow Nano. Yeah, that's an idea. It looks quite good. It's got arms. I mean, I can't really have its hands floating, its arms floating. I really would like to, but I just can't. That's not how the vehicle editor works. I've made it more interesting with these shapes. It's got a head. It's really leaning forward. Maybe a bit too much. It's got another head. Wow. Oh, it needs stats. It's religious land, so it needs stats. Oh, what if it had a neck? No, it's meant to be floating. Or if it had horns? No, just trying to get the stats out really because it's too fast. I wanted it to just mostly be religious, and it's just all speed because of the parts I was using. Well, I want those floating arm bits, but they have to be connected to something, and I'm not liking that idea. It's not it's not the floating thing. I was going for, why am I putting a symbol on its chest? That's not a symbol. A symbol is an instrument. That is a note. A music note. I don't like this idea. Maybe I put some lines on its head. I guess the stats in, but its head's spinning around. It's got legs. Try 1. Yeah, try 2. I'm making an actual creature. That looks quite a bit like that other drawing. And that's because it is. So what I'm doing here is I'm having invisible limbs to have bits actually floating. I made the head out of a ball, but then it's all white and stuff. Thing is, though, with that ball, it's kind of too connected to the sort of body bit underneath, and that makes it look even less connected to the further body, the one with the legs. It looks like it's just this thing walking about with this other thing floating above it, because it looks like 2 things rather than one thing made up of multiple floating parts, and that's not what I was going for. That's just standing there. So yeah, I'm changing it up. I'm making it that fluff piece, so that bit, the head bit with the eye, is also floating. I've given it the cell stage herbivore mouth. And it's got really big feet, because it's meant to be in the desert, and you need big feet to walk in the desert properly. What if there was more of them off to the sides? That didn't really work. What if... Oh, the other idea is that it, like, travels through portals, and so that thing on its back there, on the body, that is just... That's like the thing it uses to make portals. I gave it different feet. I gave it, an electric piece on the top bit to sort of connect it, like it is a connection thing, like a machine. It's not a machine, but that's the idea. There's arms on the back. Those are just there so I can see the invisible limb. Because, take those arms away and it all goes invisible. Have the arms there, it's all visible, so I can actually work with it without having to readjust the whole thing every time. Because that would also have to get really legs. The arm things, instead of other head pieces, they're like little floating things, and that's what it uses to make portals. It also uses the main body one, but it also uses those. And those have a spit part on them. And the spit is like it's shooting a portal. And maybe it'll shoot a portal in an enemy, something's trying to attack it, it shoots a portal through it, like inside its head, to somewhere else. And then the bit of inside its head just falls through the portal. And then it's dead, because the bit of its head is missing. And that's how it can be explained as an attack. Yeah, because the spit does damage. Yeah, it's purple, nice colours, I like colours. It's got those spiky bits on it. It's dancing now, but it's really fast, so you can't see it. That's the chair. I'm on the floor. The chair broke, and now I'm on the floor. No, it's what it is. Same idea as the vehicle, but it's a creature now.
Hey, if you ever wondered what it'd be like if this thing's evil? Well, let's find out. In the new creature!
Hey, here's another creature that I had difficulty with, because what is retro? That's the question I had for all of the day before and all of the day of. So I just didn't know what retro is. But I eventually settled on Xbox 360 being a retro thing, because it is. And so yeah, I made an Xbox 360 creature, but it's also demonic. Whoa, the idea there is that it's a creature that fairly recently went extinct, and then the science people doing science, they went and tried to bring it back, try to revive it, and they do in real life, to one of its relatives, but that relative happened, like the closest genetically related species, but that thing happened to be like really, really different looking, so when they tried to mold it into this other creature, it just ended up horrible and wrong, and they only actually managed to make one, because it was like super evil and demony, and they're all dead. Yeah, it's got those things on its head. They felt right. I gave it hairs, felt right. Also helped blend in those spikes on the back, because I liked that idea. I didn't talk about that. It's got a tail. It's quite like, that's the retro side. Then the spikes are all the demony side. It's got teeth coming through its mouth. That's not from either of them. That's just it being wrong. It's white. But it's also got the green bits on Xboxy. It's also like grey though, because the Xbox 360 controllers had a grey bit on the bottom of them. The bottom of them was just grey, and like a different material. I think I have one here. Same material. But that thing is old, and you know how old white things eventually turn yellow? Well, that's what happened to this thing. So it's yellow. It was white, but now it's yellow, and like the grey bit's green.
Gothic microscopic, 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 microscopic.
Ooh, isn't this an idea of a thing that I've had very slowly? Microscopic and Gothic. Those kind of sound alike? Yeah, they do. I had to spend a while just looking at Gothic buildings and that's the main thing. I just had to get the Gothic side down. I had two ideas for this. One was a creature that is microscopic but can like grow infinitely big, and so if you see it in creature stage, it's like growing really big, but it would also show up as an epic, and then that would be like even bigger. And then the other idea was a building, Gothic building, with a microscope on the top. There's the microscope. I just thought that was a really fun idea. It did take a bit to try and get the thing in place. Also couldn't really get the shape, but we eventually get there, and look at that, it's a microscope. It's got those little things on the bottom, where it's like you switch it over to look at different depths. It's also a building though, so it's got these things, and they're more toward the front, and then not really on the back, because that leaves room for the presumed giant to come around and look in the microscope. It's got these windows, it's very complex, so yeah, can only fit so many windows on. Wow, oh, that was a really nice spin. Oh, and now it's stopped. Why? I just, didn't do anything for a bit. It's on to colouring it. I got those roof bits looking like old rusty copper, which you see a lot of that around, or I see a lot of that around. I did spend ages trying to get the textures right. I mean the colours. I was going dark. I wanted to go lighter, but dark just looked better, so I went dark with it. I just really spent most of the time working on the walls. Actually, I don't think I have anything that I could say about this. It's just a lot of small details, so I'm gonna leave early for this one and just leave you to watch this for a minute. I'll put some music in. Ooh.
Brain clam.
What was it? I don't know. What I'm making here is a scallop. That's a kind of sea creature, and it is the creature responsible for those shells that look like that. There may be a drawing, I actually don't remember. But by this point, I'm pretty much always doing drawings. What I'm doing here is making a brain scallop, and that's the core of the idea. There's two ways it could be done: brain inside a shell, or shell that is a brain. The first one I'm trying here is brain inside a brain, with brain shell and brain in the shell. They're both brains, and that's too much brain. So I'm changing it up and trying to find a colour that works for the middle. What was that? That was an experiment, because I got a new mod for this. I actually got it, the last one, I didn't mention it, but yeah, a mod, a Spore Stacker, lets you stack the parts on top of one another. For this, I looked up, yeah, did some research on scallops. Turns out they have cilia on their mouths, like around their mouths. So I put the part called cilia on the mouth, and it looks like a moustache. And then those eyes were following from there. It's got a spit because, oh, here's the shell. Well, I'm making the shell using nail downs to make the shell look like it has a brain, like it is a brain. And I'm using that part because it colours well and shapes nice. And that's it. It's going to be all pink, like a brain is. Yeah, the idea is that it it gets into, if something's attacking it, gets into their head, does all mind stuff, and it makes them think they're seeing it running at them, charging at them. It scares them because it's really suddenly like, whoa, oh, it's running at me. And while they're distracted by that, it scurries off on its own. Yeah. So if something even just goes near it, it'll be like, whoa, bam, I'm running at you. Ah, it's running at me. This is terrifying. It has vanished. And that's the explanation for the usage of the spit part trait ability in there. Because the spit part is like a purple ball that flies at the thing. And it is also a purple ball. It's also got like a bright yellow bit, but you ignore that. It's moving really fast. It looks purple. And that's spinning. Oh yeah, there's also this weird thing because of how the foot is and the parts and all that, where when it runs, I didn't actually get it recorded, but I did sneak the running thing, a running part in there. It's hidden. It looks the same, but it's hidden behind the hay on the bright yellow spot. Yeah, when it runs, it like sort of floats off the ground. Or at least in the editor, it floats off the ground when it runs. Only that briefly, but like, it bobs up and down when it's walking as well, because it's just 1 foot. So it bobs up and down, and when it's running, it really bobs up and down. But it's at the same speed, where it goes like higher and lower, so it does just leave the ground completely. And it comes back. It goes. Yeah. So I thought that was a fun thing, so I made sure to keep the sprint in there. I don't know if it'd work in game, but yeah, if it could, then it could. If it does, it could. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah, it's a brain scallop. I mean, the original idea was brain clam, but you get specific with it. Yeah, it's got a shell. There's a brain. It didn't take that long to make, it was really simple. Spore Stacker, really useful for this specific thing. Though, I have been finding it difficult outside of this sort of thing, because it just gets in the way. I like to hide parts normally, and you just can't do it the same with that mod installed, so yeah, I'm gonna be getting rid of it for the last 3 days here, I think. Unless I get an idea for it. For the most part, I'm not gonna have this mod, because it's good, really good for this sort of use, but otherwise it gets in the way.
Hey, you remember them corpse bugs from earlier? Well, they're dying, and this is bad. They need some kind of prosthetic.
Wow, this creature is a reference to an earlier creature. That creature being the corpse bug. Whoa, that's crazy. Corpse bug? But how do you make that again? Well, that is where the prosthetic side, or the side of prosthetic, comes in. The idea here is that corpse bugs, they've been having some trouble finding the corpses that they bug. So, there's some kind folks have been helping them out by making artificial corpses for them to live in. This one looks like a little person, a little people. Look at it, it's people-y shaped. It's also that super green colour again. Oh, it was. I think it was. Yeah, it was, and I changed it to teal. Then I changed it to brown, because brown's a bit, a bit less bright. It doesn't need to be bright, it's meant to still be hiding. It looks like a person, but it's still meant to look like a dead thing as well. Because they've been really struggling with finding those dead things, and this thing is also perfectly fit to them. I'm not gonna reveal what corpse bugs look like without the corpses, but this is basically the layout of their body. I did experiment with putting the feet on the fake limbs there, but that's just not how they do it. The person is a bit green, maybe it's a bit out, it's got a bit moss or whatever it is, things that are outside get on him. It's just got his arms and legs are just dragging along. It's a fluffy bug though. It's all fluffy like. It's got fluff on its face, and so that's there because it's like clothes. It's like clothes, and it's wearing clothes. It's like a big jumper. It's perfectly fit for it, and it's all fluff, and its face is fully there. You can see it fully. It's a nice thing. It's a nice clothes for this bug. Wow, isn't that nice? Isn't that a nice thing? Isn't that a nice idea where people are making clothes for them? I did also remember what mouth I used because I had forgotten how the original one actually looks. So, wrong enough. Yeah, it's a nice thing. It's a people, it's bugs. Oh yeah, it needs fingers and toes to make it, give it the thing that the other thing had. That's why this took longer than it needed to, because I just didn't look at what the other one. What am I doing? Oh, what is happening? Why is it all gone? Well, that's because this is a bonus creation. The game did crash there. Something with me moving the bug legs, I don't know. This is a cap bug. It's a corpse bug that has just found a hat lying around that it's living in. This isn't prosthetic, it just found a hat because of the shortage of corpses, because of the increase in scavenger species. I did not say that, but that's the law reason. And this is a hat that one has found. So this is why they need to be making the dolls, because otherwise they're living in hats and other things, and maybe it's, a hat is sort of alright, it protects it. It's uncomfortable, it's really uncomfortable for the thing, but it does protect it at least, it keeps it alive, and that can't be said about the next one, which will be here any minute now. Oh, and here it is. It's, what is it? It's all, oh, game crashed. The game crasher. This is the paper bug. This is a corpse bug that didn't even manage to find a hat. It's just underneath a piece of paper. It's really sad. It really says a lot about the world. It has the wrong number of eyes. Again, I didn't know what it looked like, so I probably should have made sure of that. I didn't like this one though. I didn't like this creature, I didn't keep it. It's just one part doing the whole thing. At least the hat one had 2 parts, but this, I don't like it, so it's gone. You can't see it.
Oh, that's what a chimera is. Totade.
This is a creation, I think, that I just love this one. I think this is one of my best ones yet. I mean, it's simple, it's simpler. There's the drawing. Whoa, Totade. That's what it is. And the idea here is that it's a mix of a potato, a tomato, and one of them deadly nightshades plants. They're all nightshades. That's the thing. Potatoes and tomatoes and the belladonna, it's plural? I don't know. Are all related to one another, and so they could be mixed together. And one of the definitions of chimera is it included the word grafting, and that is a thing that can be done. That's a plant thing. That can be a plant thing. So, and yeah, it reminded me of a video I saw quite a while ago where someone took the top part of a tomato plant, and the bottom part, the roots and all that, of a potato plant, stuck them together, and they fused together. Actually fused. They taped them together, but then the plants actually fused together, and it was growing potatoes on the roots, growing tomatoes up higher. It was like a tomato or a totato. So I went with totato, and then from nightshade, shade, totade. And then I made it a creature. I drew the drawing, and then I made it a creature, and this is the creature. I gave it 3 legs, because 2 didn't feel like enough. I did see about giving it 3 arms, but that wasn't right. It just didn't look right. I also wanted to put a bunch of leaves on it, because as you can see from that drawing, it has leaves all over its body. Wow. Yeah, so it's got leaves on it. I made sure to make the leaves look at least like the dangerous one. Ooh. Tomato leaves are smaller in general. Potato leaves are closer. They're bigger. Potatoes have bigger leaves. It is wacky. I drew something that felt wacky and then made that a creature. So it's the best I can do. I made sure it was hairy, because tomatoes are very hairy. The plants, the stems, they're covered in hair. It's quite difficult getting the colouring. I did initially have the fruit part there be red, bright red, but then I wanted to get the colour of the other thing, and that's the 3 colour limitingness of the 3 colours, so I settled on a pink, which is sort of a mix. Yeah, much more on the red side, but yeah, it was a mix. The whole thing ended up a bit duller than I probably would have liked, but it's alright. It's got that flower thing on its head, which isn't actually a flower. It's more like the things that, like the top of tomatoes have, the thing on the back of the flower behind the petals. And then I did that for the tomato hand bits as well, which also spit just because it's round. I mean, it looks a bit out of place, but that's fine.
You may have heard of this, but is it real? Well, let's find out.
Now this is a really interesting creature. Or, well, the creation of this creature, the research process is quite interesting. Apparently, there's a cryptid wiki, which I used as, it was really helpful for the description of this creature. I'll get into that later. For now, here's a picture on screen. You know what that looks like? It's a tree, obviously, but that tree sort of looks like a squid creature that's running. So I'm making that. That's a real photo, by the way. I'm making that as a creature. I already had the idea for that for a while, but this was a great opportunity to make it. For Sporetober. Wow. I thought tree squid is a fun idea. Well, it's also a cryptid, and for the most part, from what I did, It's got asymmetrical eyes. I'm just making the picture. Yeah, from what I read, what I researched about cryptids, well, alright, I only really did look at 2 of the pages on the site that I found, but I think those were 2 good pages to choose. One of them, the first one that I looked at, was the not deer, which is like a deer, but it's not. It's not a deer. It looks like a deer, but it's not a deer. It's actually something else that isn't a deer. It could look any amount of different from a deer. It could have extra eyes, could have less eyes, extra limbs, less limbs. Its eyes could just be slightly more forward facing. It could have a wolf's face. That was one of the pictures. It was interesting, but I was mostly focused on the writing. The writing, that is what I needed for the description. I mean, also for like the idea partially, the idea eventually becoming that this is like a regular animal on the planet that it's said to be on. It's a regular animal. It looks like a regular animal, but different. And that regular animal is the vine squid, or void, when you stick the 2 words together. So that's a hypothetical creature. I may or may not make it someday. It's a sort of a smallish creature. It's sort of like a squid. It's all viney looking, really spindly. Walks on 2 legs, maybe? Yeah, 2 legs, sounds right. Has 2 arms, all real long and thin. Yeah. It's a normal animal, but this is like a version of it. Like, it's the way it would be described as if it's a normal animal, but different. A bad job at this, aren't I? Yeah, no, I'll just leave it at that. Talk about the design. Well, it's not the time for it, but I should have done these the other way around. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna stop me? You can't. I filmed this days ago. Well, weeks probably. Hopefully not, but probably. Anyway, I'm rambling. It's got some eyes. I tried to make the top of it look like a tree bit where it'd been sort of cut, sort of fallen. Yeah, it's left a bunch of bark behind, with the middle being gone. That's what the top of it is. You can't see it when it's doing this. What is it doing? What it's doing is waiting for me to finish reading. It's got eyes. It's got 2 on the head. It's also sort of inspired by the creaking from Minecraft. 3 eyes, asymmetry like that with the eyes specifically. The experiment with the arms and legs being a bit asymmetrical too, but it was just too much happening at once. It's sort of got that moss stuff on its joints. I think all the joints have the moss. It does look like it's glitching out there. Oh, it stopped. Yeah, it's got a bunch of white spots on it. It's one of the details. You see that on roofs a lot, and you also see that on trees. I think it's like lichen. I think. It's got that giant eye on its body, sort of off to the side. Bit odd looking. It stays still a lot back in the lore. It stays still completely. Maybe it's just fallen over. Bit odd looking tree that folks have seen. Dark out. Could be something, or it could just be like a relative of an actual animal that's around. That's sort of what cryptids are. They could be real. They could not be real. They're plausible. What happened? Oh, it's been torn in half. Oh, that's not right. I like it. It's good. The end. Goodbye.
We got arachnoid and avian. Well, haven't I done this before?
So this is a creature that I did not have an obvious idea. I mean, it's a creature that I had already done last year, and well, I didn't know what to do. I already made it last year, a spider bird sort of thing. So, how do I do that again? Well, I just do it again. It's pretty simple. So I did a simple thing, and that simple thing is a fusion of a robin picture and a well, I don't know if it's a spider picture or a scorpion picture or something else picture. I'm just gonna say picture every time, but it's just that. It's just a mix. I mean, in the end, I did decide on scorpion, but for the most part of making it, that doesn't really matter because I didn't have it in mind from the start. It's just vague arachnoid fused with a robin. It's got that tail there. It's got the sharp thing. This is the point where I decided on scorpion. It's that sort of that muted brown. It's got the bright orange on its belly, and it's Yeah, it's pretty simple. Pretty simple idea. It's a good looking creature, I think, but you can't really do much more. And so I didn't. I mean, it's got 6 eyes instead of the 8 I was initially going to go for, because birds only have 2. It's a fusion. It's got to have, like, the average of the 2. Yeah, the average of 2 and 8 is 6. Maybe that might actually be right as well. Yeah, it's a pretty simple thing. I mean, it's a bird and a bug, but one of the bugs with 8 legs. But then that also applies to crabs. They have 8 legs, I think. Yeah, they do. Because then they got 2 claws. But it's not that. That's not an arachnoid. Also, it's arachnoid, not arachnid. Ooh, 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 I'm a spooky hand. Ooh. Well, it is another day of Sporetober, and this one's haunted, so I'm making it float with an invisible limb, and it's gonna have invisible hands floating all around it. It's got a bunch of arms, and they're all branching out from the singular point, which will also be the legs. But for now, it's got a bunch of hands. It's an idea that I had for a bit, but I didn't really know where else to go with it. I don't know why it's posed like that. Floating hands, I just need that to save it. Well, yeah, I got floating hands, but my initial idea for haunted and prehensile was just a bunch of floating hands. But that's not really much. That I was thinking like Haunter from Pokemon, but with more. But I didn't want to just do that. Here though, I switched it up to like a puppet sort of thing that's got a bunch of floating hands around it, but it's also got a hand holding it up as like the string that holds the puppet up. It's one of those puppets with a string that holds it up, but the string's a hand. A wooden puppet as well. I tried to make the arms and legs there, which are also arms, but they're meant to look like legs, and they did in the end quite some bit, I think. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I made them, tried to make them look wooden, like with those buggy limbs. Also tried to make the body look wooden with that texture there. I did though initially make it this greeny colour. You know, I just wanted a different colour. I did realise though I've been doing a lot of creatures in this sort of colour for this Sporetober. You know, sort of dull, really quite dark creatures, and I wanted to brighten it up a bit. I also gave it the secondary colour, which just about shows up on the hands, as like a sort of tealy colour, because it makes the hands look a bit more ghostly, you know. There is only 4 of them floating around it, but that's just because I couldn't add all of them. At this point it was really expensive. Loads of limbs invisible, that hand on its neck there, that's like so many parts, so expensive. This thing though, it's really simple looking. I really like the concept, the idea, but yeah, the execution is there. Oh, so you would have seen it before. I just automatically put them at the start of these, but there was a picture there which I had drawn like way ages ago, like for that specific picture file. It was like day 1 or 2 of having that I drew that just as a thing, and then that was a great thing. It gave me the puppet idea. And it's spammed. What else? It's got that mouth that it sort of looks like it's smiling when it's all turned like that. Oh wow. It's got those eyes which look a bit creepy. It's like got this massive grin on its face. That's super scary. Give it a bunch of them archetype tags. I don't know if those actually affect it in-game, or if those are just, for searching, but I can include them.
So, in the Spore world, there's this thing called Spode, and, well, I don't know what it is, but when it finds out about Sporetober, I'm sure it's gonna be thrilled.
Whoa, look at that body shape. It's 3 circles. I chose the middle-sized one. What I wanted to do for this one was I wanted to make the galaxy. The main galaxy you see in-game and on the main menu. Yeah, that I want to make a creature heavily based on that. Because I'm also doing the bonus prompt of Spode. And that is a task, because that is not one thing. Which also makes it easier. Lightens it up. This is a creature that's meant to not be Spode, but resemble an interpretation of Spode. Also, Spode, I should probably explain that. That's just a combination of the words Spore and God. I don't even know if it's said Spode, because I've never actually heard anyone said it, but it's spelled S-P-O-R-D. No, S-P-O-D-E. The colours here are meant to be like the galaxy. I also tried to, give it, the legs going around a spinal, but it don't work. It's sort of like a squiddy, octopus, cephalopod type of thing. Got a bunch of frills around its neck, sort of thing, like one of them big collars. Or, yeah, collars. Colour, it's got that orange, which I really took note of when looking at the galaxy before making this. I don't have much time on this, I'm trying to speed through everything, but it is a pretty simple creature design-wise. It's got 5 limbs, because the galaxy has 5 arms, as in the things coming out from the centre. I also put 5 on the eyes, and I gave it both of the cell stage mouths, because, God might look like the first thing you start playing as in the game. Maybe. Or both of those things. Or, well, there's loads of them. But then I also turned the herbivore's mouth to give it 5 of the pieces. It's got and it's coming out of the jaws as well. But yeah, pretty simple creature. Pethicon, it's called. That's it.
And finally, skeletal and undead. Wait, aren't those the same thing?
Wow, it's the final day of Sporetober. Isn't that exciting? And for an exciting day, you of course have an exciting creature. And prompts, and yeah, they're pretty basic. They go together. They basically mean the same thing, really. I mean, a skeletal thing probably would be undead, and an undead thing probably would be skeletal. But what if I don't just make a skeleton? Yeah, start with a skeleton, but really make something different, because I was initially gonna just make I can't speak. I was initially just gonna make a skeleton, but it didn't sit right with me. It was like, it felt like the easy option, but I didn't want to do the easy option. I wanted to do something else, but I didn't know what. And I didn't know what for a long time, until I was just lying in bed the night before, and an idea came to me. A sentence. And that sentence is also the description of the creature in the end. Its body is in a constant state of decay and regeneration, always falling apart and pulling itself back together. So that's what I'm making here. it's sort of loosely got some, axolotl type of inspiration. Salamanders in general, but the specific thing that came to mind was axolotls. But I did, appearance-wise, go just salamander. With that face there, that's why I chose that mouth. It had the right look to it. The other look, though, speaking of look, I wanted it to look not like a skeleton. I wanted it to look like it still had a bunch of flesh on it, but only some skin. Like it really is falling apart. There's its spine. That's what those parts are meant to be. Spine. I was having a bit of difficulty making it look bony and fleshy at the same time, so I had to get like real imaginative with the parts used. We've got some health pieces for the bony bits, as well as those spikes for the ribs, which I also based off of an axolotl skeleton. Just with the position of the ribs. The fluff bits meant to be like patches, were either patches of skin that sort of like were either falling off or growing back, or both, or it's like mold. Could be either, could be both, could be all three of those things. I've got a bit of asymmetry there. It's got a bit of meat on one of its arms, because I didn't want all the limbs to be skeleton-y. I did like the arms, but it's a bit much. I also haven't mentioned the eye. We also got a bit of stuff dripping out its mouth, or its tongue. Could be either. It's up to interpretation. But yeah, its eye. One of its eyes is just sort of hanging out. It's just on there. I tried to do the same as the arm for the leg, but it was getting expensive at this point, so I could only do the full leg. Honestly, that seems like a better choice in hindsight, so good I went that way, kept it that way. I tried to add some more of those, I don't know what, like drippy, it's meant to look liquidy. I also got those rough patches to be like more torn up pieces. Here. Oh yeah, I also considered making the body less thin, because I made it so thin to begin with, because I was gonna make a skeleton, just a skeleton, but yeah, I changed that, but the body just needed to be thin still, because it just, well, there was a lot relying on the thin body, so you can't really change that with the way the mods work. But also, it would have just looked a bit off, I think. But it's mostly at the first point. It's got a blue skin I tried to put there, so each of those bits of blue, like a bit of skin, and then the sort of purpley colour is it's like flesh, muscle, all that, blood too. And it's got a bit of bone like on its hands, its feet. It's actually got webbed feet, but yeah, it doesn't look like that on one of them because all the webbing's gone. Yeah, this was made on Halloween of 31st of October.
Sporetober 2025. Day no more. That was all of them. All 31 days of Sporetober 2025. Wow. That sure was a Sporetober. 2025. But Sporetober over. And that is weird, because it's been going on for a whole month, and now it's over. Done with. Completely done. Over. Gone. Wow. That is a really strange thing, but it's good, because it's all made. It's finished. Complete. Wow.
That's great. Does feel though like it's missing something. Like I need to make something more. I need to keep making more, but I don't because it's over. But I do have one more thing to make, and that is this costume as a creature. Bit of a personal tradition for me to make my Halloween costume as a creature in sport. I did it last year, I did it the year before that, did it some years before that too, and I'm doing it this year, and wow, there it is. Isn't it something? A real bee creature. Guess I could talk about that. What is there to talk about it? Well, I made these things, made them on it. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I used that long part with the ball on the end that you can change the size of. Use that for the ball, just the ball, and also the spring inside, because around it it's got this spirally thing, which I use that spirally part for, which is quite cool. Of course, I used the same eyes as I used for last year's this one, because I'm wearing the same glasses. They're buggy. Don't know if you can see it on there. Oh, yeah, you can. Buggy. What else? Well, we got the wings. Quite stiff, so got them positioned the way they are. It's quite hard to get them that round though when they're that short as well. So they're a bit misshapen. Otherwise, that's fine. What else do we have? Well, we have black fluff on the shoulders, like my sleeves. The arms get thinner toward the head, up to the end, until the hand, like real arms do. Which was a detail that wasn't the case for last year's, because last year I had long sleeves on. This year, though, short sleeves, because it just went right with the costume. So that's the difference. Sort of the opposite with the legs, because as of the night, I did wear trousers, because had I worn the actual part of the costume, these long things, I would have been freezing, and it was pretty cold. Another thing, it was raining. It was so raining. The moment we stepped out the door, just so much rain. Gosh. But it didn't feel that cold, surprisingly. Anyways, that's the creature. Pretty cool. Stripy as well. I got the colour as close as I could. They're not quite the bright yellow, because that'd be a bit much. We got... Yeah, it's a good creature. And, to go along with it, another thing I did last year, which I really liked, is I made a variant of the costume. Yeah, of the creature, not the costume. Less based on the costume. And I did that for this year too. So, there it is. Wow, that is mostly based on what my original idea for the costume was. Where, yeah, I was going to be like a beetle, but we didn't have time for it. But yeah, like one of them iridescent beetles, the green ones. So I based it on that. It's green, it's got the sort of blue shine to it, represented in them striped things, not stripes, lines, because on the back there, wow, it's like all round. We also got, well, no stripes. Instead we got a dark brown thing, because it's also based on a sweat bee, which is a weird kind of bee, but quite a few of them are green like that, and since they're bees, it's the perfect option. So, and they also have like this sort of browny colour on their wings, so I did a brownie colour for that. Isn't that something? It's quite nice. But there, that's Sporetober 2025 over. Wow. I guess I need to be a bit more prepared next year. Although I do like the one long video idea, so if I could go into that a bit more prepared, that'd also be great. Anyways, see ya next year. If you're just watching the Sporetober videos. If you're watching other videos, maybe a couple weeks, I don't know. I've got a few on there too, because I've been focusing on Sporetober. Yep, bye.
Now it's over, and I need to stop.
I am reborn! Ah! And next up, we got a shocking combination of crab-like, grox, spold, and fourth thing. Yeah! Wow!